All right, welcome to my games table. I'm currently running the Last Parsec Leviathan. I'm going to show you a couple of maps that I'm going to make available for you. You can find the maps not in the objects folder, of course, but in the workshop under One World Games Table with Images. This is a table that I update frequently. Anytime I find a map that I either convert or create or manipulate or do a thing to, I usually just pack it up and I'll upload it to the workshop. You can find, I think there's over 100 maps that you can use for Tabletop Simulator. And yeah, that's what I do. Now, warning, there's going to be spoilers in here. If you ever want to play in the Last Parsec Leviathan, there's going to be things that are in here that are sort of going to be little bits of a giveaway. So if you're a full-on Karen, you might want to take your crybaby ass somewhere else and not watch this. Cool. That said, let's get into this bad boy. Leviathan. So we're going to go to the main map, shoot down to a place called Moorland. I don't know if I've shown anyone this map. Sometimes they take a second or two to load, but this is a pretty cool ass map. Give this a second to pop up. This map takes place down in the southern area. It's finished building. This is an orbital space station done by Hyperfleet Drive. Are the guys? It's Sizu and PQ or something like that. I'm not sure what their names are. One of the weird things that this thing does, if you go down here and hit the alpha on this thing and then go back and bring the alpha back up, you'll see what it's actually supposed to look like. It should be, sort of set up like that. The premise is this is an orbital space station that's been repurposed. It's got some jets underneath it and stuff like repulsor lifts that hold it up out of the swamp so the dinosaurs can't come and chew it. And there's a little garage underneath it that you can park your spaceships in. It's got a little landing pad for the VTOL in the back here. But this is sort of their main base of operations. Last week, we ended up in the hunting lodge. I'm not sure if I posted this map or not, but our day started off in this map. I'll be posting this one. You cruise off to this little hunting lodge that they said was trampled. I found a beat up old lodge. It's obviously not trampled, and it's kind of broke down and shit like that. They were attacked by scrats. So we got little scrat looking characters. These little fellas, they're not part of it. This is some Savage Worlds or Pinnacle Entertainment artwork. I did find this and strapped on the jump core and shit like that. I'll make this model available just for shits and giggles because I don't think anybody's going to complain about that. After blowing up the scrats, a gigantic croc popped out of the woodwork. One of our players used his communication device to access the hovercraft, and he made the old crocodile go after this, distracted him with the music from the hovercraft. One of our guys, Dan the Man, he's down here somewhere. These are Okamart's minis. Here's Dan the Man. Dan the Man accessed his little wrist command thing, fired up the ship, played some sweet, sexy time jazz music. The giant crocodile went and attacked their only means of escape. And fortunately, Shaft put a couple of bullets in this thing. Blew it off. It got stuck on top. Dan did some driving maneuvers, got out of it. From there, they headed back to Moorland, which is the map I just showed you. And then it was time to take their week's vacation. This is the hunting lodge map I'm going to put up there. The Moorland map I can put up, but you'll have to use your own. I can't give you the hyperdrive fleet stuff. That's some IP stuff there. But from there, they went to, I got to go back to, I forgot that I didn't add this onto the right spot. Because I got a fresh map for the main city. Leviathan, here we go. It's this one. Downtown Ralston. This might take a second again to load, but I'll be adding this map. Now this is a map I found. I manipulated it. I took out some of the tiles. I moved some stuff around because it was just too big and bulky. As you can see, it's going to take a second to load this one. It was 400 and some odd pieces, but I got her down to 200 and something, I think. just by taking out some of the flooring and whatnot. But it is a cool map. The premise with the city of Ralston is it is a recreational retreat. You can go there. It has 5-star everything, best hotels, best theaters, best food, best restaurants, best all sorts of stuff. And the gimmick with it is people pay a ton of money to come to Leviathan and hunt these dinosaurs. These lacerons is what they're called. And yeah, in doing so, they've set up this little party city. There's about 50,000 people that live on the planet. And so, yeah, I found this map. I think it was done by, I'm not 100% sure, but there's a guy, RUS something or other. I cut out a bunch of the extra tiles and whatnot, just to sort of reduce the amount of load that's on this thing. But yeah, it's a great map. So this is kind of like a little bit of a playland that I got going on here. They showed up here. They did some R&R. I used the Savage Worlds Fantasy Companion downtime rules for them to do things like they went for dinner. One of them went for dinner, started a rap battle with this guy here because he's like universally known as DJ Rap Sizzle. They got into a bit of a fight outside the front, and yeah, some hilarity ensued. Dan the man got stuck in a closet. He was in there for 5 days, spent his 4,000 credits doing drugs. Met up with an old lady with a unicycle leg and got a little frisky with her, which was pretty funny. And yeah, we had our psionicist went into like a mental training simulation so she could practice her psionic skills. And Canned Beef, who is our robot guy, hooked himself up and got himself an overclocked agility drive, or overclocked his agility. And then we had a little bit of a fight out here with DJ Rapsizzle and his crew that was quickly interrupted by the police. And yeah, so yeah, you can see there's kind of a lot of cool shit to do. If you wanted to increase your piloting skills, you could take out one of these things. It's just, you know, there's some casinos. If their players wanted to gamble for downtime, there's food, recreation, all sorts of stuff. So I used the downtime rules from the Fantasy Companion for Savage Worlds, which actually worked really well. And then that's how we did our modified our downtime. They work 3 weeks and get 1 week off. Hung out here in this little downtown core of Ralston on Leviathan. From there, they shot back to Moorland, and while they were in Moorland, they were asked to, or they received the coordinates for a possible camp for the Natural Order terrorists. So they were sent off to investigate that. I got to scooch down here. This is kind of how you move around on the Leviathan map, Moorland, and that's the war room. So with some sweet piloting rolls and some excellent notice rolls by the crew, they found this map. I'll put this up for you guys. This is the NWO camp. This camp, they hovered overhead. It had a sort of 3D tree line holographic projector that hit it, but because the camp is under attack by something or the crew is gone, some things are happening. I don't want to give away all the spoilers just in case, but this camp is in, let's say, disarray. Things are being eaten and dissolved and chewed up in the swamp and whatnot. Their comms device were down. The holographic projector was basically flickering off and on. They found this camp, but rather than set down, they decided to look around because they were looking for the B team. So instead of setting down here, they went to, they skirted around and went to the artifact site. Now this map has a bunch of miniatures and stuff on it, but essentially this is like a dig site. They hovered over, they found this place maybe a quarter mile, half a mile away from the NWO encampment. And there's a shaft here that's 30 feet wide, 70 feet down. They poked around down in there. Then one of the guys fell, made a shitty climbing roll, broke his leg. They pulled him up. His belt, personal repeller field had broken. And yeah, his armor had started to dissolve and weird things were happening. So they were going to quarantine him in some tents. And while they were setting up the encampment, there was some mutants came out. These guys are just what I'm using for mutants right now. But essentially these guys, they look like the natural order eco-terrorist guys. They're wearing their uniforms and stuff like that. They came out of the tree lines with laser weapons and melee weapons infused into their skin, and that's about as far as we made it today. It was good times and a good session. But there's 3 maps, this little alien site thing here, and I'll put up the other 3 maps on the. You could find them over here. Games. I will load this table up because there ain't much going on here now. But I will export those maps once I clean them up, and I will dump them onto this table. It's nice and simple. You just come here, shoot down here, click this button, lock everything in place, and hit build. Once this builds, you can see there's images of all of the maps that I've somehow manipulated, modified, or created. And then you just take these bags, save them into your inventory, and drop them onto this tablet. Once you clear it, like Hills Road, for example, let's pop this over here. You hit the clear button. You would do this on your table, and you just add it that way. It gives you the link, and yeah, you can figure it out from there. But that is going to be it for this video. I wanted to keep it short and sweet. I'm going to add those maps to this table. So yeah, enjoy. All right, adios.